Some of the worst crimes committed in the nation are by rappers like Tory Lanez, who committed a crime against another famous rapper.
Meanwhile, musician Tory Lanez, convicted of rapper Megan Thee Stallion, sentenced to 10 years in prison. A judge in Los Angeles handing down that sentence today, culminating a case that filled gossip pages and polarized the music industry.
Even YSL affiliate Cash Out committed a crime so serious he was sentenced to life on a live stream.
Cash Out will spend the rest of his life behind bars in prison. A judge just sentenced him on dozens of RICO and charges.
However, the feds have been investigating Lil Baby for several years now, taking notes of the crimes he and his team 4PF commit.
And baby, you gotta respond to it. I don't make this loud. You gotta respond to this.
Atlanta police are blaming a local rapper's music video for the deaths of two.
The bullets, it was nothing but bullets, pop, 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 pop.
At least 25 shots fired.
Yeah, it was terrible.
After Lil Baby's 4PF crew jumped DJ Academics, investigators found evidence proving this was planned to happen for a while. Coming from a tweet reading, "He warned you, big bro," with lyrics from his top priority track saying, "Academics guys think they can't get touched." Due to this, it was announced the feds have been investigating Baby, building a case of evidence against him. This new beef with DJ Academics will likely spark the first set of arrests in the 4PF camp, making its way to Lil Baby. To understand his current evidence file, it's important to know how Academics would expose the truth, beginning with the tweet of, "Academics confirmed he got slapped by Baby's cameraman, K. Rich, in Miami." Here's a picture of Academics' right-hand man, AJ, with the police after the situation, showing the altercation was big enough to the point police arrived at the scene. But later on that night, K. Rich would brag about getting Academics on live stream.
So boom, ain't nothing happened to him. He said something, bro, I swear to God, right hand of God. I smacked the shit, I smacked the right hand of God, bro, I smacked. You smacked Academics? Yes, and then listen, after I smacked him, listen.
Yo, Lil Baby, eat a. I'm not even gonna address it, Lil Baby, you eat a, because I don't know this. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm getting that Lil Baby, because I've been waiting for this. I can't take it out on a I don't know. I'm up tens of millions of dollars. I'm taking it out on this boss. Yo, Lil Baby, if this is what you believe or he believe, both y'all eat a. Whatever y'all think, that's what it is. Both y'all.
With some fans asking what this had to do with Baby, Academics would expose why, beginning with the tweet. DJ Academics claims Baby's camp paid him $30,000 to chill on album criticism, then allegedly backdoored him anyway by sending K. Rich to swing on him.
The Lil Baby got to drop his new album. And I'm gonna start really getting on business. Yo, Lil Baby, you and your team paid me $30,000 to keep quiet about your motherfucking album. And I sat there and I realized, I said, well, if you pay me $30,000, there ain't no way you sent a come swing on me. Why would you do that? Don't make no sense. $30,000 you could pay for a hit. Why the would you send to come swing on me for pennies and to clean your balls in your drawers and then pay me $30,000? I got the receipts posted just. Why would you pay me afterwards? Cause y'all whole demeanor was an act. You wave, and I said I'll fall back. I said I can't lie to, but I'll fall back. And y'all paid me to do it. Y'all paid me.
But now, since Baby wants to play games with Academics, he would go on to say they're going to have to pay him $300,000 to not speak about Lil Baby's next album.
Yo, Baby, you gonna have to pay me to get off your for this next time. Y'all paid me 30 bands already. The price is now 300 bands. Straight up. The price done went up 300 bands. You have this who you sent. Yo, Lil Baby, stop the bullshit. You sent this to go do this bull. When I called you up, you acted like, oh, wait, what happened about? Yo, do you know this K. Rich? I call every in Atlanta. You know what they say? But that's his assistant. That's his name. Wait, he act like you don't know him? Yo, I talked to him. He say, Lord, pay me for your album tonight. Yo, I'm on your forever. Remember that. So listen, I'm only saying this because I think this little K. Rich thing, I'm gonna go back and forth with him. Let me tell you this, I'm gonna cost your boss $1 million. I did this to the best of them, and I'm gonna do it to him.
But investigators got involved once Academics revealed that K. Rich claimed this is 4PF while jumping Academics, which is getting Lil Baby nervous because 4PF ain't supposed to be a team anymore.
And baby, you gotta respond to it. I don't make this loud. You gotta respond to this. You're gonna either be pussy or you're gonna stand on it and say, I did backdoor that. Thought we were cool. When I asked you in the morning, you know what you said? So the first thing I said, yo, bro, you know what came up to me? He said some 4PF. You know the first thing you said? Yo, act, chill, act, man, you on that police. You scared of this 4PF. Bet, cool. I say, yo, nah, baby, like this was. So he's like, act, what? You acting dumb.
Ongoing issues with Lil Baby will only make it easier for the feds to raid him, and inside court it was already reported an investigator is on the stand. We are listening to wiretap calls. Someone mentioned that Baby had tickets on some people's heads.
Like, come on, bro, you know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even like that, man. They got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unc, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unc.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders?
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by what do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Or
and who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominique Jones wanted to have people harmed.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
They claim Baby put up money for people to be taken out, which is the same thing Dirk is charged with. But academics got word that Atlanta is looking into Baby heavily.
So there's this journalist. He's out of Atlanta. Well-reputed journalist. His name is George Cheedy. Like, he was the person who was very accurate on predicting that YSL was going to get indicted in the RICO. He's an Atlanta journalist, certified. He's really good. He's came out and he said that the Atlanta Public Defenders Council, like the office, they're basically their specialized unit for Georgia's Public Defender's Office. The unit that specializes on gang cases says the office is actively preparing for a racketeering indictment on the 4PF and OMF case. Now I don't know what OMF is, and that he expects Lil Baby to be indicted.
This got a lot of fans concerned for Lil Baby, but Young Thug came to his defense and called out the investigator that was in the courtroom by saying, biggest liar in the DA office, as he exposed the investigator Marissa for what she looks like and exposing her as a liar. Academics explained further why Marissa is such a big part of if Lil Baby gets charged.
What Young Thug did to have and this is how you know this 4PF is real. Young Thug posted the woman. This is Marissa Vivierdo. He said, biggest liar in the DA office. He posted her, okay? And then he also reposted, all my homies hate Vivierdo. Now, this is someone who is a officer of the law. This is someone who is a government official. When you do that and you're under probation, the government is gonna be like, oh, you sending a smoke signal that people should hurt this woman? That's why they're doing a motion to revoke his shit. Why did he do this? Because she's testifying in the OMF case, and she's basically saying, yo, OMF and 4PF, Lil Baby and them, they're beefing and is dying, and indictment's finna come down.
Although Lil Baby panicked and made a huge mistake in the moment because it was reported, Lil Baby reveals he ended his record label 4PF to avoid it being labeled as a street team.
First 4 Pockets 4 had to come to an end. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. When you say of course, I mean, why you say of course?
Because the shit that be going on. And I had to start learning that, like, other people's actions I could be held accountable for.
Right.
I ain't know all that at first. You know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know, I'd be a fool to just keep the same thing going. They trying to make something out of something that it ain't. Right. Like, if I got any kind of control of, hey, we're gonna switch that whole thing up. It ain't even just about the police. It's just period. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never was supposed to make my label something that I talk about.
Because with Lil Baby already having the feds looking into him, ending 4PF makes him look even guiltier. But in a separate incident, the feds are trying to blame Lil Baby for 2 passings a couple summers ago, with it writing, the Atlanta Police Department is calling out Baby, saying his actions led to the passing of 2 young individuals last summer. During a press conference, the Atlanta PD announced 7 arrests had been made in connection to the passing of Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman. Major Ralph stated the incidents were part of a street altercation that started while Lil Baby was filming a music video in May, where 3 people were injured. The officer added on, saying they will work relentlessly to hold Lil Baby accountable.
The investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
While Lil Baby was outside filming the music video, a lady who owned a taco shop nearby recorded him and posted this to Facebook.
Where y'all at? We over here kicking in. We got Lil Baby shooting a video around here. We know how we do it at Slapping Taco. Baby, there he go, there he go. Y'all see him? He came to get him some tacos, baby. Y'all better pull up, cause you already know how we doing this Slapping Tacos, baby.
The ops who eventually pulled up on Lil Baby didn't even know he was there until that Facebook video. Once they saw Baby was hanging around their block, they pulled up with firearms to the situation, which resulted in the passings. But it's crazy the feds are trying to blame the situation on him for just doing his job. However, people are saying that Lil Baby's career is in a bad spot already, so if he does get charged with a RICO, his career is done for, which had DJ Academic saying similar when he laughed at Baby's last album.
Man, you better listen. I don't know if Young Thug's still just on a vacation. Tell him you need him. You need him for a verse, a song. You probably need him to pop out his loud for you because it would have made it all better. You need this, okay? Please. Yo, the crazy thing is Lil Baby confidently be previewing these. It's like, yo, they're hot. Yo, chat, I feel like the Monstars hopped out of one of them New Jersey drones and grabbed Lil Baby and shook the talent out of him. I don't know what I'm hearing thus far, chat.
But what if I told you he's mainly being targeted because of his connections with Young Thug and Gunna, as Young Thug spoke about his thoughts on Gunna after he snitched.
I just like to help people, you know.
One of those artists was Gunna. You guys did a ton of songs together.
Yeah.
Very successful on your label.
Yeah.
He was arrested about the same time as you. I think a lot of people wonder what that relationship is like now.
Yeah, I know everybody wondering that.
What's it like?
I don't know.
As this led to viral tweets talking about the situation, which said, once y'all learn the entire effects of Gunna snitching in the YSL trial, then you'll realize why Thug and Baby will never be cool with him again, because it's rumored he told information to the feds on Lil Baby and other Atlanta rappers in return for his plea deal that got him out of the YSL case. Within a month after Gunna was released, a report wrote, Lil Baby was arrested Monday night for carrying a concealed firearm without a permit and was sent to the Clark County Detention Center, where he was being held on $5,000 bail.
I need 20 bands, call the number for me. Hey, security, the black guy, call the number for me. They locking me up for a gun, but I got license. Security, I need 200 bands a year. I swear to God, security. Security, I need 200 bands a year. You don't make 200 bands here. Hey, lady, my check leave at 9:10. Nah, check me good. I gotta my nuts. Check me good. You on the camera? I gotta my nuts. Check me good. I gotta go. Alright, y'all let me that cross you. Y'all fire.
But it gets deeper when you realize that Academics revealed 4PF was being targeted on the same RICO documents that YSL was on.
I've heard 2 of them. Like, I've heard the 2 of them. They're like, yo, these are going first, then these are going first. I've heard the names. And I don't know if I should say it. Again, I got nothing to do with no investigation for nothing, whatever. But these are top rappers. Well, one's a top rapper. The other one, matter of fact, I'll do the segment without saying the name. I'll just say this. I believe you know who the obvious name is. They're in Atlanta. They go by three letters. They've been popping. One of the top, I would say, 3 rappers in the game.
But it's concerning that Lil Baby continues to face legal issues because his recent arrest seemed like a warning for a RICO that's coming his way.
I'm gonna tell you some things that you're gonna have to take my word or don't believe it. It's fine. I don't care either or. When Fonnie Willis started targeting YSL, Fonnie Willis had a bunch of people to target. She wanted Thug. She got YFN. So she got YSL, YFN. Eventually, they were gonna get to 4PF. That's one of the reasons they changed their names, by the way. Except, from what I heard, the feds told them, it's okay, we got it. So the feds told him, like, it's okay if you dismiss the charge. So they didn't go that hard with trying to get Dirk, especially after Von died. They dropped that case. They dropped it, but the feds has realized we gonna get Dirk eventually. You doing the math? You see why Lil Baby was moving the way he been? Because Lil Baby hasn't been on Fed watch. He's been on county, state watch.
But all the legal stuff going on makes sense as to why Lil Baby's been kind of quiet in the music scene lately. He's likely trying his best to prepare for charges or to stop them from happening. Another recent arrest he had came from a time he got pulled over for just illegal window tints, but it escalated into something more.
Huh? Man, you know why I pull you over? These windows, they tinted. You can't see nothing out.
I'm a celebrity, man. Nobody can't see me. Give me my ticket. Let me ride.
I don't know what celebrity you are.
It don't matter. They give me my ticket. Let me ride. I can't have nobody seeing me right here. I'm gonna let my window up.
Oh yeah, you good, but you can't have that tinted window, man.
Alright, just give me a ticket. Have a good day, man.
Now, who are you? You say you
My name Lil Baby.
Okay, I just need you to sign right here, okay?
You got a pen? 827. You don't be want to have these. You gotta have tints in that level. These folk crazy. I take a ticket, then somebody follow me home.
Put a 32.
Huh?
You can put a 32. If you got a medical exception, you can get the tint.
As the body cam footage corrupted, and it ended with Lil Baby being thrown into jail. Luckily, he was able to contact his lawyer who got him out that same night, as you see here. With the arrest happening after Gunna was released and signed a plea deal, it really feels like he gave up information on Lil Baby's business. This had Young Thug tweeting when he was released, "Wham, let's drop one on these rats." Lil Baby responded to Thug on Instagram by saying we should, but Young Thug wanted to call out Gunna more, so he tweeted, "Gunna, stop acting like we friends on the internet. I don't know you, my guy." This angered Gunna's brother, who said, "Trust and believe the feeling is mutual." But later that night, Thug linked up with T.I. and spoke about how he made it home the right way and he didn't snitch, poking fun at Gunna.
Hey man, what you got to tell these people?
Back. Back, Jack.
You feel me?
You did.
Hey man, ain't no cap in it.
No cap in my rap.
You feel what I'm saying?
The right way.
It's time.
The right way, bro.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right way.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
And go tell that.
But there's problems with the beef they're creating with Gunna. If Young Thug involves himself too much in problems with other people, he can return to prison, as they claim it's a setup to hope Young Thug slips up in a small way and they throw him back in prison. They might even be able to get Lil Baby at the same time with his current situation.
I know some of his fans think he beat the case. He definitely didn't beat the case. Beat the case means you got no stipulations. The Young Thug thing is a win, but it's also a huge setup. If you gonna tell me that they're gonna monitor him on a probationary basis for 15 years, can't be in Atlanta, can't communicate with co-defendants or members, he can't rap about, he can't promote any music that has to do with what they believe is activity. He's always gonna talk about him and his is doing his thing. They might consider that activity. He might be like, yo, me is like, yo, we going to the park getting lit. We going to the club getting lit. They might be like, oh no, you talking about the game. So, we celebrating right now because I think we could all see, if you follow that trial at all, whether you're a fan of Thug or not, you can see the pain, you can see this was going through it. Like, he gained a lot of weight. Everybody knows Thug was not that weight, so we happy he got out, but we definitely got to be very cognizant of how it's going to play out.
However, Pooh Shiesty's been committing crimes from the moment he was released from prison.
You just want to bring it top up. Say, bro, man, you be relevant, and I said what I said, bro. You need a like me to keep you going.
I'm 4K trained.
Who?
Ricard, what the man?
After news of Shiesty being arrested went viral, investigators found out why, which relates to NBA YoungBoy. The news wrote, Shiesty has allegedly been arrested on multiple charges after only being out for 31 days via DJ Academic's live stream, which comes days after it was announced by investigators. Rapper Shiesty being investigated by police after his new song, FDO. Self-snitching in several pieces of lyrics and dissing prosecutors from his case won't end well. This is due to the lyrics in his new song, First Day Out, which not only disses YoungBoy, but also disses the prosecutors involved in his case, and Shiesty had a back and forth on Instagram with YoungBoy.
I'm on these tapes, like, who gives a that's what you been waiting on. Well, all this, what you like, we really live this we talk about, you hear me? We really live this stupid. You stupid or what? Go look at our video. Cuz say you the last one standing. Like I said, cuz.
This resulted in Youngboy playing chess against Shiesty by trying to ruin his reputation by calling him a snitch. A random inmate who was actually jailed with Shiesty exposed him. It reads, Memphis man claims Shiesty wasn't standing on business in prison, alleging that inmates made him stand up to eat.
Jig got the call, man, so in the feds, man, apparently non-affiliate or whatever, man, you know, any it is not gang related at all. Running up under no car, gotta stand up while they eat. Hey man, you was in that mother standing up while you were eating. When they bump down on you, they ask you, is you under the 5 or is you a rapper? You said a rapper. I got facts about these, man. Hey man, I'm on this, man. You know what I'm talking about, man? Cause why, hold on, man. You ain't stand up? You ain't sit down? When it was time to stand on business? So you let basically you, man, made you stand up and eat your food. I thought you supposed to sit down and eat. Man, you got the internet food, man. That in jail, man.
With Shiesty being exposed on how his jail life was, the same Memphis OG just days later took back his words about Shiesty.
Damn, man, I just found out, man, you know, hey, man, I was off the medication, man. I'm so up, bro. I'm just institutionalized. I'm a convict. I didn't even know this little my cousin the whole time. Los. Damn, Lo, why you ain't tell me Pooh Shiesty was our little cousin, bro? Damn, Pooh. We got the same line, man. My name Williams, too, man. G. Williams, man. You know what I'm saying? Janero Williams, man. Hey, man, we got the same last name, man. Damn, Pooh, man. Damn, nephew. Could call me, man. I'm on the medication, man. You know, I'm off the meds, man. You know what I'm talking about, man. The bitch supposed had one and got my medication, man. You know, bitch run out, man. Didn't bring my meds when she supposed went to got my food, man. You know, long story short, man. I got my medicine now, man. Goddamn, tap in with me, man.
However, some believe Shiesty may have sent goons to get him to stop talking bad about him. This would go viral, raising the question, why didn't Youngboy just get Shiesty himself? Even DJ Academics would reveal on livestream that Youngboy is the only rapper to sell out arenas and make $70 million, but will still deal with you on the street.
He's probably the only rapper that gets to the level of, yo, he's doing an arena. He just came off a $75 million tour. It grossed $75 million. Yet we still believe that he's totally like ready to. Usually it's one or the other. If we really think that you're the crash out, you're not going on tour to do an arena. We usually think you're who goes to, like, you know, you get 1 or 2 shows because you're really living like that. He's the only person that I think maintained the image that he might today, but he's selling out a stadium tomorrow.
However, the truth was revealed when Youngboy was released from lockup early. A rapper in the industry paid $10,000 to start a snitching campaign against Youngboy. It begins with the news of Famous Richard says Youngboy is working with the feds, which came from a post reading, Youngboy's telling. This is his 3rd time getting released from the feds within 4 years on all new charges. On David, you can't do 10 months of a 23-month sentence. My first offer was 5 years for a firearm that the police put on me. Youngboy's definitely with the police. He probably the reason Dirk locked up. As one video caught Youngboy when he was in prison and he was doing whatever he wanted. But attached to the video was a tweet writing, honestly, I kind of believe it too. The timing, the energy, the way things are playing out. It's all looking a little too convenient. Wouldn't be the first time someone played both sides. In this game, you never really know who's working with who. Gotta watch everything. Even when Youngboy was originally sentenced in court, it wasn't normal because he had fans hacking into the court's Zoom call and saying to free Youngboy.
Free Wack, man. Free Wack.
Everyone needs to stay muted. Okay.
Free Wack.
All right. Mr. Golden's case has already been called. He's done with court today. For those of you interested, everyone keep yourselves muted.
Free Wack. Free
Wack.
Shortly after, he entered the room and was smiling because he heard about his fans supporting him. As this court environment seemed to favor Youngboy a lot, people believe he worked with the feds. Once Shiesty got released from jail and started dissing Youngboy and siding with Lil Durk, it was on go. Shiesty did some promo for his release track and went on live stream with a streamer named Ben. But the stream got awkward when Ben's friend Rakai said he's Team Youngboy in front of Shiesty.
Don't apologize to me.
Man, Rakai, hey, look, man, you gotta, man, just rep anything, man. Just say you something, and then you good.
I'm 4K Dre.
Who? Rakai, what the man?
You said what?
You could hang up on him, cuz he ain't no. I'm finna you right back.
Shiesty didn't like this at all, and he made it clear that he's on Durk's side, because another rapper was calling out people who switch sides back and forth depending on who's doing better. The tweet wrote, Lil Zay Osama speaks on why it's no surprise the industry is switching up on Durk for Youngboy.
Nah, for real though, I don't see why this was surprising or new to y'all. Everybody jumping ship because this how the industry is. Nobody in the industry is gonna stick around you when you at your lowest. If they can't get clout, notoriety, money, fame, features, videos, something that they could benefit from off you, they're gonna jump ship. I don't see why it's surprising that everybody is on YB in the industry. That's how it go. They only gonna with you when it's beneficial to them. None of these ain't grow up with Durk. None of these ain't friends or real homies with Durk for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Or they would never change, or they would never jump ship. Cause where we from, if you with me, my ops is your ops is mine. Some people don't look at it like that. Some people look at it like I with both parties, I ain't got nothing to do with it. And look, you not wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, shout out to the that still there, stayed down for Durk, his real family and friends, you feel?
But many of Durk fans and members of OTF said if you're rocking with Youngboy while Durk's in jail, then stay on that side, which led to Shiesty showing he's on Durk's side even more because he got mad at a person on stream for not knowing who Durk was.
Was that my jerk? Oh.
Lil Durk.
JCB Films with that fire gift, bro. I appreciate you.
OTF. What's that, man? Why you say it like that for? Come on, get your picture, man, before you get up.
Oh, wait, my phone.
Streams picture out. They're going crazy.
I think we ain't heard right here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's the wrong one.
On her text, he talking about who again? This Lil Durk.
Even Academics spoke on how almost every rapper is on Youngboy's side right now.
So I'm in the dressing room, and we just talking about a bunch of. He's also telling me, and I will never say who. He's telling me all the rappers who was now hitting him up, and he kind of asked me, he's like, Act. So what you think, man? Because I think he's thinking like, yo, should he forgive some of these? Like, but all these rappers on it. You know what I mean? Like they're all like, yo, Youngboy, we love you, right? And I gave him the best advice, I think. I said, I didn't want to impart my thoughts on it because I don't know fully what he's been through and what he's thought. Because, he was down where nobody would him. So I said, whatever your heart feels about any of these or kind of doubling back or now they want to do whatever, go with that.
Academics even called out Chopper for trying to diss Youngboy. As Chopper released a couple songs, Academics said, if Chopper wants to be taken serious by dissing Youngboy, he needs to make an anthem.
Yo, NLE Chopper, bro. No more break dancing, no more belly rolling and like that, gyrating. If you making a diss song at Kentrell Deshaun Golden, you gotta make some anthem with like some military tanks. That's how he's coming. Tell you.
But this had rappers saying Chopper needs to relax and stop doing what he's doing because it ain't working.
Everybody see Youngboy ain't mess with nobody. The boy doing his thing, standing his own lane. And I love it. I love it. I can feel him every time he drop a song. But NLE Chopper, instead of him doing his own thing, he said, you know what? I'm gonna attack this man. I'm gonna mess with him. That's how poor in the street think. Mm-hmm. Instead of just letting me continue to move with my life, because I ain't messing with nobody. I ain't out here trying to portray a street image or nothing like that. I'm just...
However, a spotlight was put on Shiesty when he came out and instantly began dissing Youngboy. This led to Wack 100 exposing him for possibly snitching out early. It was announced, Wack 100 claims Shiesty is not solid and told to get out early.
So what, you trying to say that big bird ain't solid?
And throughout the day, as you see, look, you see what they've been sending me. You see that throughout the day they sending me this, but they sending the documents, the PDF, the paperwork, they circling, telling me what they see. You see it, bro. Like, You look, you see it.
Yo, what? These rappers gotta hate you, bro. I ain't gonna lie. They hate me too, but they gotta hate you differently. Like
I mean, bro, listen. This ain't even my. I mean, listen. But at the end of the day, come tomorrow on the other side of the clubhouse, they're gonna pull me in that room, and they're gonna present this. I gotta
Can't you run interference, like kind of what you try to do with Thug? Run a little bit of interference.
He claims he snitched because he got out early and that he was apparently only playing Fortnite in jail.
It's Pooh Shiesty, who looked like he's absolutely chilling in jail. My boy got a little Richard Millie, you know what I mean? Got the haircut all right, you know what I mean?
They be playing Fortnite mobile
in jail. Oh, he got the Timbs on. They look fresh as well. Yo, this so chilling in prison. He got 2 watches. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, 2 watches, not even 1.
But Shiesty's close friend Big 30 defended him and said that Shiesty would have never snitched.
On my mama, if you see some paperwork, my mama, I do whatever y'all tell me to do. Cause my eyebrows, mustache, hair, I throw my chains in the river and jump in and if Shiesty snitch. Go home, take one to the. I ain't got no red.
But with Shiesty out of jail, the feds went into how the crime went down that put him behind bars. As they announced he set up a deal for high-end sneakers and extracurricular items. He pulled up to the meeting spot in a green McLaren and waited for the seller's arrival. But Shiesty and his friends secretly knew they would rob the goods.
The barrage of sending 2 people to the hospital, and it lands a rapper in jail. 7 Sheldon Fox with the exclusive.
Police and prosecutors say Pooh Shiesty was part of the group that ended up in this parking lot that October afternoon where the flew, and it happened right across the street from the police department and town hall here in Bay Harbor Islands.
When they first met, Shiesty was given the sneakers to do a legit check on them. While this happens, Shiesty tries negotiating the price of the goods for cheaper, which led to an argument between the 2 sides. It quickly escalated to Shiesty pulling out a firearm from his waistband and going off after the 2 sellers. The sellers ran away and ducked behind their car for cover, but they were too slow because Shiesty hit one in the hip and the other in the backside. While Shiesty was handling the men, his friend grabbed the goods and jumped into the passenger seat in the McLaren. Shiesty did a final check to make sure they weren't retaliating and then jumped into the car before speeding off the scene. But something big happened in the moment he got in the car. He opened up the butterfly car door and shut it so fast that a bag that was in the door side pocket fell out, as this bag had over $40,000 in it, which was later used as evidence against Shiesty. But Shiesty continued driving away from the scene and headed for a Miami airport, where he rented a private jet and flew out of the state. But his getaway plan wasn't as good as he thought because he was arrested a couple days later.
The town of Bay Harbor Islands says you're wanted with He's also charged with robbery, battery in their affidavit, saying the 2 left the state in a private jet.
He was booked into jail, where he later bonded out for $30,000, but he had to return to jail for his court appearance a couple months after.
Mr. Williams, you were arrested for pursuant to an arrest warrant. It was issued June 3rd. It's charging you. You have 2 attorneys here. Or is it, I'm sorry, 2 attorneys in the state. Go ahead. You want to announce again?
Brad Cohen and Sam Zegny for the defendant.
Right. Have you had a chance to review?
Yes, Judge, we have.
Shiesty and his lawyers realized they couldn't beat the case and took a plea deal, which led to the tweet. Shiesty sentenced to 63 months in prison. He was facing 8 years. With Shiesty serving his 5-year sentence, everyone was surprised when academics announced how soon Shiesty was getting released.
And I think he's coming home like next year, maybe the year after. However, it looked like he's, taking responsibility of whatever happened and doing his time, not crying, clearly trying to let people know he's straight. And I do think when he comes back out, granted, as long as it's not like too far from now, if he comes back in a year, he's good. I still think even within 2 years.
However, what's interesting about Shiesty's life and music career was that he apparently committed crimes like this for his entire life. He just was never getting caught before since he wasn't famous.
Yeah, I mean, look, Pooh Shiesty was probably the biggest artist that he signed in recent memory. But Pooh Shiesty had a history of crimes before he ever signed to Gucci. It ain't like, he was like a school kid and Gucci suddenly put him in a bad direction. No, he was already doing it. Gucci wasn't around when he was doing all the crazy shit they got him locked up for. It just is what it is.
Pooh Shiesty's in prison right now for somebody in the ass with a go while sitting inside of a McLaren.
Yeah.
some Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's who he was before that. So it's like, that ain't a surprise. And Gucci ain't gonna tell you like he can't just change who you are as a person. So it's like, you know, but people come up with the conspiracy theories and the life insurance whatever.
But the only reason Shiesty got a shorter sentence and was released early on good behavior was because he created a proffer deal with the feds. A proffer is when the criminal provides additional detailed information to the feds relating to the offense, for which a lesser sentence is given. Judges and prosecutors look at it very highly when a criminal is willing to give up all the information about the crime they committed, as it saves them a lot of time, so they give Shiesty a shorter sentence than normal. But they also made Shiesty admit the mistakes he made, because the first mistake he made was doing the crime right across the street from the police station. The footage that captures the crime going down was literally owned by the police department right across the street. The second mistake he made was leaving the bag with $40,000 on the ground. Through creative police work, they actually matched the serial numbers on the bills in the bag to social media posts of Pooh Shiesty to confirm that he was the owner of the money in the bag. But the third and biggest mistake he made was that he posted on social media with the green McLaren on the same day that the crime happened, as it looked like Shiesty was begging to be caught and arrested by the feds. The McLaren has become a huge symbol to his music career, as his management released a music video for Shiesty while he was locked up. But do you consider what Shiesty did snitching? Sure, he told the feds information, but he really only gave up information on himself to receive a shorter sentence. He didn't tell on anyone else and only himself, but let us know what you think in the comments below and like the video if you're a Shiesty fan. Meanwhile, Kodak Black's court case has him acting very unusual.
Warrant has been issued for South Florida rapper Kodak Black. Officials say Bill Capri, better known as Kodak Black, violated the conditions of his pretrial release. This mugshot is from his initial arrest last year when troopers pulled him over for driving with an expired driver's license and tags and found drugs on him.
With Kodak Black facing trial for his trafficking and possession, it made rappers react. The news wrote, Florida rapper Kodak Black will finally face court hearings about his charges of trafficking and possession. Lawyers expect the rapper to face a prison sentence instead of a rehab program due to him being a repeat offender, which got the attention of Boom.
But right now, man, we worried about you. You don't look too healthy. And from the outside looking in, it's obvious that you're a and I don't believe for 1 second you just doing for your own enjoyment. Nah, you trying to find something to fill up that void that's within your chest. See, I've been where you at right now. But by the grace of God, I'm clean. Them strongholds have been pulled down. Them chains are broken. So I'm qualified to talk about this. You got to make a decision, bro. You got too many people looking up to you. And from one father to another, got to set the right example for your son. This coming from somebody who genuinely cares. So if you come across this video, you want to sit at the table, break bread, man, holla at me.
But it's what Kodak did before his court hearing that will ruin everything. Kodak hopped on IG Live speaking about using a certain product before. The same stuff made on the TV show Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it must be off today because he eating good. What you mean? You mean like as in like I must be off it or I must like not be on it? What you trying to say? Whoever the his name, Mellow Fellow. You don't know me. I eat good. I eat good every day, all day, yeah, man. High or not, yeah. I'm being a.
You hear them talking?
I tried it though.
You said keep.
I don't keep for real. But I'm gonna tell you how to say it right now. Man, everybody be on. It's nothing. You feel me? That's why I said that. That's why I had said that, you feel me?
However, his court hearing didn't go well. A lawyer in the courtroom wrote, chatter inside the courtroom between prosecutors and law officials makes it sound like Kodak isn't being given another chance. Time to face a sentence, but for how long? Kodak didn't take this well, going on TikTok Live looking terrible.
Yes, I like that. All right, DP, thank you, brother.
Yeah, you was born.
All right, coming up next, I want to play some Drew Hill. I got Camper, I got Anita Baker, all on the way. My name is Julie Rodriguez. I'm in for Shelby Russian today. Hot 105.
This would get the attention of Boozy. He reacted to Kodak's case, revealing if he goes to prison, he will have a really hard time and something concerning might happen to him because he worked with 6ix9ine.
You know, Kodak done been in jail, bro, so that was a detrimental move to him, bro. Like 6ix9ine, I'm gonna tell you this, Vlad, and I'm pretty sure 6ix9ine knows this too. 6ix9ine is the most hated person in prison.
Really?
You hear 6ix9ine name damn near every other day. When people looking at their case, this motherfucker goes 6ix9ine. Like he is hated, he's hated, bro. What Kodak did, he's gonna have to stand on that He better stay out of. I got 9 calls from the feds, from the state, everything. Like, Boost, is it true? I know people are, bro, they gonna get on Kodak for that, bro. If he ever.
But things get more concerning when you realize Kodak was arrested on that same charge 2 years ago. As video of Kodak was found admitting it when it was announced, Kodak Black admits to being on drink, but denies being on other items after pleading not guilty on possession and firearm charges.
I was on the and I was asleep in front of my family house, bro. And that's it. I was on that drink, sleep in front of my people's house. But that ain't illegal. And that ain't illegal. So all that shit is just the process. The process that it had to be in other mud shot. The process that even though like bogus is plastered all over the internet. Then on top of that, it's like, bro, like, I'm Haitian, and then it's just like my era, bro, like, nah, like, man, you better off.
Once Kodak said this on Instagram Live, he was raided by the feds and arrested. Luckily, his lawyer secured him a rehab deal rather than receiving a sentence, but Kodak won't be so lucky the second time around.
Kodak, whose real name is Bill Capri, faced a judge Tuesday in Orange after turning himself in following an arrest warrant issued for violation of his pretrial release. Authorities said he tested positive for during a random test earlier this month.
It is just unjust and not right about this situation.
Black, addressing the judge after the pretrial release technician testified he may have mixed up the samples between Black and another patient.
There's no way you tested positive. We can resolve that by way of a hair sample, and that'll clear you.
Judge Barbara Duffy then asking for a hair sample today to clear up the alleged mix-up, which Black refused, rather choosing to check into the Legacy Rehabilitation Facility for 30 days as part of his pretrial release.
When Kodak first went to rehab, he actually changed his life for the better by writing new music and working out daily to keep himself clean. Once he got out, he released his song titled Walk, which went viral, and as a result, he went on Kai Cenat's live stream to further promote upcoming music. However, the pressure of restarting his career went to Kodak's head because he was seen sweating a lot, swatting at invisible things and saying random words.
You can't always say it, but at times when it feel good, that's when you say it sometimes. Yeah. I thought your name was Bubba. Hey, oh.
But Kodak did his best to explain the situation on Instagram Live.
Say y'all people like who be on that, y'all be on all type, y'all be on say all type of stupid. But I take me one and y'all be so hurt. Y'all wanna like it anyway. Yeah. Everybody else who be coming like on that timing, they ain't got no motion. They broke, they hurt, they something, or they trying to come into life some kind of way and trying to like look for any type of yeah, I could come in that way. Oh, I think you need help. Oh, look, bro. I try to like, and then you don't think.
With millions of people realizing he broke his sobriety and began returning to his old ways, it was the beginning of Kodak's downward spiral. However, Kodak got inspired after being on Kai's live stream, so he began trying to do it himself, but it ended faster with Kodak tweaking on his kitchen counter.
Bitch, got the sentence. What you want a Mac? Got some sentence. Got the sentence. You been to the boy. Got some sentence. Boy, I want to raise you. Want your back. Yeah, stuck on the mat. Hey, stuck on the mat. Then a bed rest. Then a long nap. Because she took it out today and you can't do it back. You can't help.
Kodak's concerning moments only continued to get worse with time. Another appearance on Instagram had Kodak saying he was waiting to pass.
Everybody getting while we waiting on other people too, right? Other people, they don't know how to let time do its thing. Hey, bro, like let time do its shit, bro. Time is the best, what you call it, whether it's gonna heal or whatever the it's gonna like, you know, let time do its shit. You gotta be patient. Love is patient, love is kind. You know, like I'm saying, it makes absolutely zero sense, no sense at all. Try to approach the situation with any type of aggression. The whole world on everybody on your man on your on everybody again while we waiting while we just down here waiting on when we're gonna
But this had fans really upset with how people around Kodak are treating him. With one writing, "Every time I see Kodak Black, I get so sad. That man has 4 baby mamas and don't none of you greedy women care about him for real? Because why aren't y'all helping? Probably sitting around waiting for him to pass away." Another fan wrote, "Every day I see a new video of Kodak strung out, not even acting like a human. Is someone going to help him?" And another response reads, "Anyone else afraid if Kodak doesn't get help, we're going to lose him?" As these tweets went really viral after the clip of Kodak eating chicken in the middle of the road.
The wrong thing. Take a seat next to him. Take a seat next to him. Enjoy that food. Enjoy that. Take a seat next to him, brother. Oh, hold on, please. I want to be part of bro, I want to join that, bro. I want to be down here.
The main reason that Kodak seems to be so upset and turning to things to try and make him feel better is because he says he never experienced real love.
I know girl treated you right. Never, bro. I never had a bitch love. I never experienced love before. I never experienced it. I never experienced it, bro. I never experienced it, bro. I never did, bro. I never did, bro. I never experienced love, bro. I never did, bro. I never had it. I never had it, bro. I never had it, bro. I never had it.
Kanye West caught wind of how bad things were for Kodak Black and wanted to help him, so he reached out.
Okay, so I thought Kodak was in Miami. I see he's in Atlanta. So I'm getting a flight down to Atlanta right now and do something. So anybody that's already down in Atlanta that knows him and knows anything about him, I know I said rappers and all that, but right now I need y'all, man, to like really go and do something. Like we can't. I know y'all think I'm crashing out. Y'all, you see me talking. I'm expressing myself. And look, man, please don't. I know I said a lot, and just let me go down there and go help this man out.
However, it's what happened later that night which goes to show how little the people around him are doing, because Kodak's pacing around his room while his friend just records him not being okay.
I'm Drake's favorite rapper.
Who?
I'm his favorite rapper.
You Drake favorite rapper?
Yeah.
Nah.
He always say that. Even his people always say that. They always say that. Even when he ain't, you know what I mean? Even when he ain't around, so shit like, oh no, it's for real,
But this would linger for many months, up until a fan interacted with Kodak to say they love when he is sober, and Kodak got angry.
Say I love when Kodak's sober. Change sober. I look sober.
That nigga's the win for 2.
I know it's sober. For what? For what? Look at all this money. Look at all this cash. Sober for what? Too young, sober. Young, sober.
He then showed up the following week to a Baltimore Ravens game, and it was reported. NFL fans are worried for Kodak Black's health as he appeared off while showing love to Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
Hey Kodak, what you gotta say about the Ravens, Big G? I love the Ravens. Hello. Hey, what about that boy LJ, man? What you gotta tell the flock about that boy LJ, man? That boy Yak in the city. Yak in the city. I live out here. Hello. Yak in the city. Baltimore, let him know.
But once again, people reached out to Kodak in an attempt to help him out. Wallow and Gilly give some life advice to Kodak Black, saying don't ever doubt yourself. You got them babies counting on you.
Don't ever doubt yourself. You got them babies counting on you. There's gonna be times where you're gonna doubt yourself, you're gonna be in pain, but them babies counting on you. You gotta be here. And I'm telling you that because a lot of people get around you and they see your success and they say, oh man, a lot of people need you, and they yes man you. I ain't here to yes man you. You know me, every time we connect with you, you know I got love for you. Not because I need you, I got love for you because you're a young cat and I was young, Gil was young. Live. And I'm telling you that because you see that love that lady get, you see how you light up when I talk about your babies? Live. These people wanna laugh, they wanna joke, they wanna criticize. They don't know your pain, I don't know your pain. But I know one thing, them babies counting on you.
As they tried to reason with him by telling him how much his family needs him to be good for them right now, he can't continue wasting away his time by doing what he's been doing. But this didn't get through to him as he showed up to the White House and began rambling in front of everyone.
So like, imagine a world if all of us was just one color. If all of us was just blue or green. Oh, if everybody was smart, you gotta have some dumb people. Oh, what if everybody was rich? Who's gonna take the trash out?
But this was a big enough event for Kodak that he realized he is messing up bad, and he apologized for the way he's been acting.
I'm honestly, like, I'm sorry to everybody. I'm sorry to the people who I heard it. I'm sorry if you don't understand me. I'm sorry if you just don't like me. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to everybody that I wronged, and I'm so sorry to all the times I made my mom cry, and I'm sorry to like all the girls whose heart I broke. I'm sorry to young Miami, you know what I'm saying, for kind of disrespecting her and stuff like that. She accepted my apology.
She did? However, Kodak responded to Kanye reaching out by saying, Kanye's a real one. You know why he a real one? Kanye the only guy who still likes Diddy. I'm pretty sure the Fed's gonna seize all that boy's accounts. Kanye did some real stuff.
Yeah. Kanye a real one. You know why you a real one? Cause like I'm some whole kind of like Kanye the only tell Diddy, cause he know he ain't a lot of the other look at me. I'm clean yeah. And why Kanye like.
But the worst part for Kodak is he won't be able to get off by being sent to rehab. The judge will be wanting him to receive an actual sentence because they already tried the rehab route and it clearly didn't work. But let us know your thoughts and if you think he needs to go to jail or rehab. However, Snoop Dogg and Diddy have recently gotten connected to a crime committed decades ago involving Tupac.
I'm going to disclose the facts as they are. I mean, whether they're dead or alive, I'm going to tell the same story because that's my job, is to get to the truth of the matter. My name is Greg Kading. I retired from the LAPD back in 2010.
With new arrests happening in Tupac's passing case after decades of waiting, all the files were released featuring two big names, starting with Snoop Dogg, as one viral reaction reads, "Is anyone going to mention how Snoop Dogg could have stopped Tupac from passing? These new files coming out is upsetting knowing Tupac should still be alive." The 20-year-old Tupac files were released today, which had Faison Love saying Snoop could have stopped it from happening.
I always felt when Pac died, it was because Snoop could have stopped that whole thing. I mean, because like I said, Snoop was a Crip. Pac offended some Crips. Doing some gang, some dumb. Really. It was set off a whole chain of events. You know, in LA don't get mad, they get even. So, you want a real Pac story? That's my Pac story. Pac would be alive today if he had stayed allies with Snoop and not cross Snoop.
As Snoop gets connected to the passing of Tupac through a police record which revealed Detective Russell Poole suspected that Suge Knight arranged Tupac's passing before he could exit the label, then framed the rival Crips to throw off investigators. The detectives claimed that Snoop Dogg is the one who they tried pinning the crime on since he is one of the most famous Crips in the world. Snoop's story with the case gets even more interesting when you find out he was supposed to be in the car with Tupac on the night he was targeted.
With Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac, I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this was this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
Snoop made it clear he was supposed to be in the BMW, but after last-minute changes, he didn't go, which was likely from him having an argument with Tupac a couple days earlier.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me, how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Death Row didn't like that. Tupac didn't like that. So we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to, prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
With it all happening within 72 hours of the Tupac incident, the police found Snoop's story very suspicious. You have to remember that back in the 90s, Snoop was a lot more tapped into the streets than he is now. Many speculate that Snoop might have caught word through the Crips that they were going after Tupac, so he avoided being with him. But another interview has Snoop admitting he thought Tupac hated him just before he was taken out.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like it. I want to do some music with him. And I just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to kill me, out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with him. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
Although Diddy also has an important role behind the hit of Tupac, because in the Reckoning documentary, they claim Diddy wanted to be like how Tupac was, which left more people explaining how badly Diddy wished he had what Tupac did.
Tupac was a shining example of everything that Diddy wanted to be, and he was that naturally. He was charismatic, he was sought after, desired, he was very well liked and a naturally likable person. He was charming, he actually had intrinsic talent, he was a star. He was what Diddy tried to force his way into becoming. Diddy, through force, through manipulation, through fear-mongering, tried to become loved and adored and liked, but all he could manage is like a twisted clone of that he was able to garner through fear. But back to my original point, he thought he triumphed over Tupac by when actually what he did was make Tupac immortal. And by Diddy continuing to live and earn more wealth and in his mind earn more adoration, he thought he triumphed. He thought he won overall.
File evidence of Diddy wanting to get Tupac starts with the report. 50 Cent says it's not over. More unreleased Diddy footage that didn't make the Netflix documentary is coming to YouTube, including footage about how Diddy started a family with Tupac's ex-girlfriend. Diddy has a daughter named Chance Combs with Sarah Chapman from 2006, who famously dated Tupac in 1995. Detectives looked into Tupac's relationship with the woman and found something interesting. On November 18th, 1995, Tupac was photographed with Sarah Chapman, and this apparently set Diddy off. Diddy didn't like how much people respected him and liked him as a person. Diddy even described Sarah as being the one and his dream girl. He was extremely jealous when Tupac got with her, and it's likely what led to his first attempt at taking out Tupac.
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the book. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work.
But the first attempt failed, and in the Diddy trial, they shared details on the second attempt. Former cop claims Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million. Suge Knight retaliated and had Biggie dealt with. They claim Diddy hired Keefe D to be the organizer of the hit and get people to do the act for him, which is exactly what Keefe D did. He was brought in on an interrogation years later where he admitted to the feds that he met with Diddy multiple times and that he was the lead behind the crime.
On all 4 of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about Tupac?
It was really about both of them, either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
With this getting out to the public, many people began questioning Diddy's past and what he was capable of. He was even asked about it in an interview, which turned the interview awkward.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
But in the Diddy trial, he was questioned about his involvement with the news writing. Diddy faces questions about his alleged role in Tupac's passing after being mentioned 77 times in a new legal filing. But what's very interesting is that the person who wrote Tupac's biography claimed Tupac wasn't cut out for the street life. He said that he couldn't defend himself or even use a firearm.
Because he died because all these guys sold him this lifestyle idea, but he wasn't it. He couldn't fight. He had no athleticism. He didn't know how to shoot. He wasn't that guy, but he started to believe it.
He method acted it.
100% method acted it.
But with the public attention on the 30-year-old crime, it got the attention of the Vegas police because they made notes about the documentary and the evidence they had of Diddy paying $1 million for Tupac's passing. Sources expect Diddy to be charged. This is what 50 Cent has always wanted. He's hated Diddy for years, and he exposed Diddy for it in the past at a concert when he said he didn't like Diddy because he took out Tupac.
I hate when they leave me to talk because I always say the wrong thing. I'm saying last time they left me, I said something about Puffy. You saw that? So that thing? Yeah! I gotta stop doing that kind of shit. I've been talking to a therapist trying to help me with the shit I'm saying. I said crazy shit. No reason. Oh wait, maybe I said it to my boyfriend because he got Tupac killed.
Although further evidence on what happened the day Tupac was targeted was shared in the files. As it reads, on September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Vegas with Suge Knight for a Mike Tyson match. Once it finished, they got into an altercation with a Crip member named Baby Lane.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and 2 of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
The initial brawl was broken up by security, and Tupac went back to his hotel to change his clothes for the night. Once 11 p.m. rolled around, Suge and Tupac got into the BMW to head to a club for the night. The only issue was once they stopped at an intersection, Keefe D and 3 other men pulled up in an SUV and did the crime.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
But with the incident being a mystery for a long time, the police investigated a public interview that Keefe D did as he detailed the moments they took out Tupac for everyone to see.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. He was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
He tried to claim it was out of self-defense by saying Tupac was reaching for a firearm, but no reports ever confirmed that Tupac had a firearm on him, likely meaning Keefe D thought he wouldn't be charged for the crime because he claimed it was self-defense.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually?
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started at Tupac and Suge.
But with the release of this interview, we also saw another interrogation from the night of the crime, which shows the police had Keefe D as a person of interest. They arrested him and brought him in for questioning on the crime, but let him go.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you.
Yeah.
He looks right at you?
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then, Tupac's busy getting Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of the
back seat or something.
Yeah, what do you see happening inside their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre?
He leaned over on the window, we rolled down the window.
Today, Keefe D seems to have regret for what him and his crew did back in the day, but it doesn't matter now.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. You know, I really do, man. Cause it took a lot of people's lives, dude. I hate that happen. Promise to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude.
However, things start getting really weird when you realize there's files that suggest Tupac could have survived the incident and remained alive. The first thing you have to remember is that Tupac didn't pass at the scene. It was days later after being in the hospital where he supposedly passed. But when you realize that Tupac had people behind the scenes helping him, it makes you question things, as an interview from an officer revealed that Tupac was initially an industry plant. Higher up people wanted Tupac to calm down the beef between the red and blue street teams, but it clearly didn't work.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be a in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the and the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this gangster type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
Tupac was targeted in the crime, but is it possible after he was recovering in the hospital that the people who were behind making him an industry plant decided to pull the entire operation because it got too serious? Because one of the weirder things we heard of Tupac's passing is that his close friend named Tretch was interviewed in 2010, which was 14 years after Tupac passed. Randomly, the cameraman puts his camera down and asks when he last saw Tupac, to which Tretch said he last saw him in Cuba. The weirdest thing is he answers the question like it's totally normal and isn't questioning the reporter on why he would ask him about his friend who passed over a decade prior.
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question.
Nobody knows. Y'all good?
Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man.
We good. Last time I saw music.
But shortly after this interview, a website showed a video of what was believed to be Tupac alive in Cuba.
Zoom in. That's Pac, man. He with the outlaws. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
This is what made the Tupac is alive in Cuba theory, which only got more interesting when you realize that it's the same country that his aunt went to live in many years ago. But another person who claimed Tupac was doing well before he disappeared was Suge Knight, because he claimed in many interviews that Tupac was alive and doing well recovering in the hospital. As Suge Knight said, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac was laughing and joking, so I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
Police reports claim Tupac was in a deep sleep, so he wouldn't have been able to laugh with Suge Knight, but Suge claimed the exact same thing in another interview many years apart.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital, he was conscious in the ambulance, he was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
However, Suge Knight was targeted in a club by a man with a firearm only 2 weeks after his last Tupac interview. Suge Knight believed he was targeted for talking about Tupac in a public interview. What's even weirder is that Suge's son, Suge Knight Jr., took to Instagram to say that Tupac was alive and even claimed he was living in Malaysia. He followed up the post with another a couple days later with a conversation which suggests people wanted to get rid of him for talking about Tupac. This scared Suge's son into posting many pictures of Tupac with modern celebrities like 50 Cent and Beyonce. He even captioned the picture saying, "He never left us. They'll be after me soon." Many people think that Suge's son is not reliable at all and that he just wanted some social media attention, but others believe he could be telling the truth as his father was one of the closest people to Tupac. However, David committed one of the worst crimes the industry has ever seen.
Despite all the craziness that's going on, all the turmoil, the natural disasters, the things like that this year, I just wanted to tell you guys
what it was that a private investigator named Steve Fisher found inside David's home when he was given access. The PI reported seeing, quote, items you would expect to find on a farm rather than in a home in the Hollywood Hills.
After the arrest of David's best friend Neo, the police made a statement about David, beginning with the news of David's friend Neo Langston has been arrested for failing to appear as a witness. TMZ reports that David is expected to be charged in the case of Celeste. Investigators and law officials confirm Neo has been hiding out in Montana in an attempt to hide from the case. But the files continue reading, Neo Langston has been arrested in Montana on a Los Angeles Superior Court warrant for failure to appear for testimony. Lewis and Clark County expects LA County to begin the extradition process. Local reporters in the area captured the moment when 7 officers that were on scene brought Neo out of his home, put him in handcuffs, and threw him in the police car. It's rumored Neo knows exactly what happened to Celeste, and prosecutors are hoping to get more information out of Neo when he appears in court. But the feds realize Neo and David have a close relationship with each other. Across social media posts, you see they went to house parties, recreated the famous Titanic pose, and laid down together.
You know who that person is, and do you believe that is the person that moved the Tesla?
So I believe I definitely know who moved that Tesla on that late July before they went on tour. I can't say who the person, and I don't mean I can't say for, but I don't know who exactly was in that house because it's just a report, but there's video, but you can't make a person out. But somebody was in the house, and being that there's only one key, it's like, okay, who had access at that time? So is it the same person that moved the Tesla? Was another last part of the plan about to go in motion as far as getting rid of her? I don't know.
But further news reported, this in no way implies any type of guilt, but based on Steve's recent findings and David's social media, it's possible his friend Neo was the last one driving the Tesla. Neo has wiped his social media clean of David and does not follow him on Instagram. But there's a new theory which was written and says, what happened to Celeste and who put her in the Tesla? Did Celeste learn or witness something of David, given his profile as an artist? It actually looks like things are beginning to move in the David case since Neo's arrest, because it just reported David will likely face M charges for the passing of Celeste Rivas, and that's because the grand jury that's hearing the case will be asked to hand down an indictment. Complex Music also reported the same, and it looks like they're speeding up the case because of what they found in David's secret rental home. Shortly after the discovery of David's second house, the news reported, a private investigator reveals that an incinerator capable of burning at temperatures of up to 1,600 degrees has been found in David's home. This type of incinerator is illegal for people to own in Los Angeles without having a farm permit. This had investigators following it up, claiming that Celeste was likely living in David's rental home because it was out of the spotlight. David had the main house he'd used for his collaborations with other celebrities, but had the other house to stay at with his personal friends. But what's really interesting is this video of David speaking in February 2025. Detectives believe this was just after Celeste might have passed, and this was David's reaction to it. As it reports, David recorded a video at his other house in February 2025. Celeste had likely been passed for a few weeks. Also in February, he leased a red Tesla and stopped using the black one.
Hey guys, I know I haven't posted on this account in a little minute, but I just had some words to share with you for 2025. Despite all the craziness that's going on, all the turmoil, the natural disasters, the pain and things like that this year, I just wanted to tell you guys not to be discouraged and not to lose hope and not to turn your face from God in these times of evil. And then it seems like just at the start of the year, it's literally January and all this stuff is happening. It's like the most insane, it's February now, but it's the most insane start to a year that I've ever seen. But God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. So keep that sound mind, 2025. Stay prayed up.
But what's really important is that despite initial reports from David's team that he was cooperating with the authorities, it was just announced David is not cooperating with investigators in the passing of Celeste. Police detectives have identified a second suspect in the case, and David remains a suspect. The second suspect they're referring to is Neo, who is very involved with David's life. But shortly after a lot of eyes began looking on Neo, a fake report from TMZ came out which stated Celeste was found frozen in David's car, which the medical examiner says will make it impossible to determine the cause of passing. The police still see Celeste's passing as foul play and can make an arrest even if the cause is undetermined, which had creators reacting to the new information.
For quite some time, a lot of people were curious as to when she could have passed away. If she passed away at the beginning of 2025, why did she only just start smelling in September of 2025? Well, according to what we are hearing from sources close to LAPD, it seems as if Celeste Rivas Hernandez was actually frozen for a period of time. Freezing a would preserve that for an extended period of time, and it seems as if she was removed from being in a frozen state and put in David's Tesla. And because of that, the medical examiner is likely not going to be able to determine a CO.
The weird thing about this, though, is TMZ claimed they had direct sources from the case, but the police department came out with a statement to say it was completely false, leading some people to believe that certain people are trying to mess with the investigation. However, this got the announcement of new information and pictures from David's electronics. It was reported on the night of December 30th and morning of December 31st, 2024, David and Celeste were together in downtown Los Angeles where several photos were taken in public. As this came with weird photos from his camera roll, the police are wondering if this shed is where the crime took place. However, the private investigator released the last photo taken of Celeste with it reading, 1 year ago on January 2nd, 2025 is the date of the last known photo my investigation has uncovered of Celeste. It is important to say that law enforcement investigators have access to more extensive resources and may have images or evidence from after this date. The photo was taken at 5:05 p.m. on January 2nd, 2025. Location analysis shows it was taken in Baldwin Hills. Celeste is seen wearing a designer ripped style hoodie, but it got even weirder when someone on Reddit noticed, is the hoodie circled not the one Celeste is wearing in that picture? As it shows David in a video the following day with what looks like the sweater on the floor. But this leads us to the evidence which shows we know they used to hang out with each other, as they were on stream together here.
Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which
that.
one? What's good, David? Big fan, big spot me. Oh, thank you. Mitchell.
I gotta stop with him if you even. We need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
However, the police are making a move towards David, but not in a normal way, because it was reported. On September 18th, David transferred his Texas homes into his mom's name, the same day Celeste was identified and found in the Tesla. Just a day earlier, police did a search warrant at his Hollywood Hills rental. On that same day, they responded to a fake call that reported a passing at one of David's homes. When police arrived, they were met by David's parents, who said his younger brother and sister were upstairs. People were so invested in this case that they wanted to find out where David was, so they sent police to his family's home.
No, out of all times for this to happen, as he's discovered in his car, after she's been identified, for there to be a potential swatting incident where somebody calls 911 with a fake allegation, a fake crime for their property, out of all people, out of all times, it's weird.
Well, it's weird, but it doesn't necessarily surprise me because this case has taken on national significance in terms of people paying attention to it. And there are bad actors that understand how to bring somebody by way of swatting. So somebody called the 911 system down there. They found the address online and were basically made up a story for the cops to go there. And then they went in, and fortunately the police were very professional and they were able to immediately understand that it was a swatting incident and it wasn't a legitimate call.
The entire discussion on where David's been hiding at is very interesting. No one has seen David out in public since this case happened, and even the private investigator hasn't seen anything to suggest where he is.
Do you have any indication about where David is right now?
I don't. I have no idea. And it's kind of bizarre because his group has stayed so silent, what's left of his group, I guess. And I'm not even sure the conversations that the owner did have with his management in breaking that lease. I'm not even 100% sure his management knows at this time where he's at. I think his attorney might be the only one, and his parents.
However, David is already trying to cover his tracks and protect his assets because the news reported he was transferring assets out of his name after hiring a new legal firm. Most notably, he gave the deed to his houses to his mother in case he gets charged with the crime. Luckily, a lawyer explained that David wouldn't get away with the move if he does get charged.
You know, transferring these assets in the middle of a investigation, as opposed to 2 years ago or a year ago. Right. Could a court look at this and say this was a deliberate attempt to, what you say, concealing assets, and they could breach it, they could pierce it, they could say, even though that you've transferred this into your mother's name, that was invalid. This is a way for, let's say, a plaintiff who sues him, or let's say in a criminal judgment to pay that fine. Can a court look at that and say, even though you transferred it, it's still open season on those properties?
Yeah, this is what's so puzzling about this. It is a very basic premise of law throughout the country that you can't transfer assets after the event happens that would otherwise trigger collecting on those assets. So we have rules in different states. Sometimes they're called fraudulent transfers, sometimes they're called fraudulent conveyances. There's a lot of different names for them, but the crux of it is you cannot transfer assets.
But people on the internet discovered an old interview of David's where he said he didn't want to be on social media anymore in 4 years and that he wanted to live on an island. This coincidentally would be the same timing as when Celeste would have been an adult.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Okay, so the plan is hopefully this music thing takes off crazy next year.
Why is he saying, why are you saying that like you're not like up there?
Well, I'm not there yet, but hopefully it's like even crazier next year. And then I go on crazy year after year for the next 3 years. And then on the 4th year, I retire. And on the 5th year, I'm off the grid, living somewhere like on an island with this crazy crib. No social media, no digital footprint. I'm just gone. I'm just gone. In 5 years, I'm gonna be gone.
Will you still remember me?
Yeah, bro. You'll have like the secret codes to the mansion.
Yeah?
You can pull up on every
What's the secret code? Give us the first 2 numbers.
Absolutely not.
However, there's another interview which makes David not look great. It first started with it reported alleged photo of David wearing a similar wig to one Celeste Rivas was wearing has surfaced online as he showed up to an anime event and just so happened to wear the same blue wig which Celeste had on in another photo. But David spoke more about his love for anime in an interview, and he spoke about how he has an alter ego which commits serious crimes.
Basically, an agent of chaos and kind of my alter ego, and the story of the manga went like I was a detective and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, kind of like Fight Club with Tyler Durden, and he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as the detective. So like when I was as the detective, I'd be like solving that I'm committing myself. And it was like a cool little story. I didn't think anything would come of it, like it was in the vault for.
But it led to one reply reading, "There's hundreds of crimes that he could have used as an example when describing his alter ego. I can't be the only one seeing how obvious this all is, right?" This got a lot of attention online, and in an attempt to get people's eyes off his old interviews, David decided to start playing Fortnite. As someone spotted it and wrote, "If anyone's wondering where David is at, he's lurking and been playing Fortnite." They tracked his Fortnite account on a site and realized that his account was active and playing Fortnite. People who tried hoping that David was somehow innocent gave up on him when he refused to release a public statement, and his only online activity has been playing a video game. As one fan wrote, "There's no way that's David's first response to all of this happening. If he knows he's innocent, wouldn't he have gone about it a different way?" Although the court files in LA are collecting all the evidence they get, a big piece of evidence is going to be the time Celeste was seen at a David concert with the very same shoes that she was reported missing with. If this video is accurate, it means Celeste was still alive on June 27th, 2024, seen backstage at a David concert alongside his brother. Look closely, she's wearing those Hello Kitty sandals. The missing poster of Celeste literally details she had Hello Kitty sandals on, which very likely confirms this was her. But what's crazy is David was seen with a different Celeste after the missing Celeste is believed to have passed.
Yeah, that's order.
Ma, you look good.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
W's in the chat, man.
People note that she looks similar to the missing Celeste, has the same name, and even wears the same Gap sweater as seen on her missing persons poster, but it's not her. This has people questioning if David was crazy enough to become friends with another Celeste after the original passed and tried to play it off to the public like the original Celeste was still alive. Even an old friend of David's who used to help him with music admitted that he used to talk with his fans in a weird way. This was before Celeste, but it sets up a possible pattern of what David was doing outside his music.
And I just want to clear up the stuff from 2023 was not about the Celeste girl that was obviously recently in the news. It's nothing to do with her. I didn't know about her. I didn't know she was. I maybe heard her name once or twice. I had nothing to do with her. The stuff I have from 2023 was nothing to do with Celeste. These were other girls that had claimed David had messaged them or had, relationships with them. And I want people to know that in 2023, I did try and bring the situation to light. And a lot of people remember, I was having a lot of... It got so bad that David's legal team had got in contact with me to remove everything. I've attached an email here that I received from his team in 2023. And basically they removed my song with David from, streaming services because apparently I was spreading misinformation. The thing is, after that, I got in touch with David and I was like, yo, are the claims true and all of this? And he was like, he literally said, I've got it here. He said, no, it's just some people trying to get clout. There's no evidence and stuff. After that, everything was shut down. Everything, no one else came out after that.
But it got worse when academics reviewed the names of David's songs.
Crashing, Where'd It Go Wrong, Ghost, Where Did You Go, Afterlife.
Even another video of David shows him cleaning shoes at his house, and some people believe he's cleaning the Jordan Celeste was wearing in the left photo. With the David and Celeste case being one of the biggest over the last year, it got her brother to make a statement for people to stop jumping to conclusions about his family, as he wrote, "Why are people lying saying that I knew more? I didn't, so I don't know why people are lying trying to make me look bad. Celeste did nothing but love me. I was one of the only people she loved. I never knew information about anything up until the last time she left." However, YNW Melly's situation is weird. He committed 2 crimes for 2 different trials, but due to the evidence they have against him in one, they decided to not even bother with the other trial.
In rapper YNW Melly's witness tampering trial, state attorneys confirming the witness tampering charges dropped against the rapper. Before that announcement, the jury selection was expected to take place tomorrow.
A massive win for Melly in court today resulted in the judge mentioning a release date. It reads, Melly will no longer go to trial for witness tampering after prosecutors dropped the charges. The Florida rapper's trial was scheduled to start on Wednesday, January 21st. However, during a hearing on Tuesday, January 20th, prosecutors decided to drop the case, which resulted in a statement from Melly's lawyer, Drew Findling, writing, "We now look forward to seeking Melly's release from custody, where he has been held under extraordinarily restrictive conditions for far too long based on premises the state has now abandoned. His release will allow him to fully and meaningfully participate in preparing his defense in the forthcoming proceedings, which we intend to litigate vigorously." As Drew will use the evidence they had against Melly for witness tampering to prove to the judge they're afraid to go to trial. An example is they literally had his ex-girlfriend arrested, who was told to leave the United States.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
When Melly's trial began in 2023, Mariah was wanted by police for not showing up. Spam calls and house visits, she was nowhere to be found. However, near the end of 2025, she wanted to come home. She missed her family, so she booked a flight home with her ID, which triggered the police's security alarm. Once waiting for her luggage at the airport, she was swarmed by police and arrested. The state dropping the charges got reactions from around the industry, Melly's mother writing, "God is good and he hears your prayers," to even 50 Cent writing, "Drew Findling is a bad man, beating all these cases." However, the state dropped the charges for one specific reason, and let me explain. It reads, in the 5-page memo, the prosecutors dropped the witness tampering case against Jamel Demons to avoid jeopardizing key jail call evidence essential to proving consciousness of guilt in his pending Double M trial. The state moved to drop the case because suppression of jail calls remains unresolved, risking acquittal and loss of critical evidence needed for the 2027 trial. Prosecutors charged Melly with witness tampering and gang-related offenses tied to efforts to keep key witness Mariah Hamilton from testifying in his Double M case. Financial records show Hamilton received more than $31,000 from Demon's management company and associates, plus assistance purchasing a Mercedes despite no reported income. Jail calls, surveillance video, and inmate kites show Demons directing a relay system through inmates James Howard and Terrence Mathis to pass messages outside jail after losing phone privileges. However, later in their memo it reads, recorded calls and messages instructed associates, including co-defendant Bortland, to keep Hamilton away from court using coded language and nicknames, which was exposed by Juvie's father during an interview 2 years ago.
There was this kind of
crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
however, this is really smart for the prosecutors to do. In the witness tampering trial, they only had Mariah on their side to testify against Melly. If she testified for witness tampering, then she wouldn't be able to again in the Double M trial. The prosecutors will make her keep the evidence she has, then use it against Melly in the Double M trial, alongside the evidence Bortland shares, meaning both of Melly's friends connected to the case are going against him. As the news of Bortland taking a plea deal and snitching was announced, saying Bortland took the plea deal. He also agreed to a proffer, which means he's talking. The sentence is to accessory after the fact, and he will do 10 years plus 6 on probation minus any credit. We've already requested his deposition in the civil case, but academics went further into detail on why this is so bad for Melly. The judge says on both charges, Bortland pled no contest to that he has to provide a factual basis for him to accept the plea, meaning he has to tell a factual story of how he indeed committed accessory to the crime, which confirms the crime happened. It's a gonna plea, except with the proffer, he can't say yes ma'am, he gotta sing like Frank.
I did tweet out saying people are upset. I said this is a gonna plea. This is a gonna plea. This isn't a plea saying you have to tell on him, but this is a plea that you're going to have to provide all the details that they were missing to convict him. And that's why it's a gonna plea. Why do I say he signed a gonna plea? Because YNW Melly, and I watched the case, we covered it. YNW Melly's case is that, number one, you guys have not done a job to prove that this is actually they have proved, but prove that this is a homicide with this person being the offender. Also, the accessory after the fact plea confirms that Bortland, that's kind of like almost like a sub part of a conspiracy, except you weren't with the conspiracy at first. You came in after the fact. What that proved is that they came in. Oh my God, what that proved is that Bortland worked with someone after he acknowledged that a murder took place in trying to cover it up. You hear what I just said? When pleading to an accessory to after the fact, you have to acknowledge that the happened and you assisted someone or in some way to cover the. Now, if Melly's statement is, how do we know that? And then secondly, how do we know who did it? Because they said it was a drive-by.
As the easiest way to understand it is that Bortland is basically clearing his name of being responsible for taking out Sack Chaser and Juvie, which only really leaves Melly on the scene as a possible suspect. Obviously, they claim it was a drive-by, but when Bortland is forced to admit the crime happened inside the car, Melly will be done for. A professional lawyer even took a look at the deal that Bortland accepted and said it's gonna make him snitch on Melly.
He will be flipping. He is going to be tell-all about anything he knows about the double case, and they will know if he's telling the truth or telling a lie when he gives his full quote-unquote confession as to what happened that evening. And that's what happens a lot of times where guys are in the prison for 4 or 5 years awaiting trial and looking at a life sentence, and they're offered 10 years where they'll be home probably in another 3 years that he'll serve. He decides to flip and become a cheese eater. And that's what happens a lot of times on these cases. And I was expecting it to happen a lot sooner than it did. He held out for quite some time. But long story short is it looks like he's going to flip. And it makes the case on YNW Melly, depending on what he says, which I anticipate he'll say that YNW Melly is responsible.
But Melly's lawyers have been pulling out everything to help Melly's situation, as they're now suing the Broward Sheriff's Office for cruel treatment and seek immediate release from prison, as they claim Melly hasn't been allowed to speak with family members in 3 years. Other rappers like the idea of Melly doing this and wrote, "I like what I'm hearing right now. Shout out that boy Melly. Free him, he been in there too long." The main reason for the lawsuit is they claim he's been forced to remain in a jail cell, which is freezing cold, he gets served barely edible food, and received no human contact. Melly's mother reacted to the lawsuit and what it claims, and it was reported. An interview from Melly's mother paints a disturbing picture of Melly's life in jail. It sounds like he won't last much longer. This led to the interview of Melly's mother claiming that Melly can't even use the jail phone anymore.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
Overall, she feels terribly for Melly and what he's been through on the inside. She continued the interview by saying how she's heartbroken for him.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they They are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
But this had media members reacting to the situation, and Charleston White spoke on how Melly deserves a hard jail life for the crimes he committed.
Even the YMW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
Even rapper Boozy spoke about how he feels bad for Melly's mother and the stress she's dealt with.
Okay, so then I met his mama while he was in. Oh, okay. I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real. She's stressed out. I heard she had a. Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
But the judge let both sides prove their point on why Melly should or shouldn't be released from jail, which had the prosecutors reminding the judge they have text evidence of Melly claiming responsibility for the crime.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
They also brought up the parking lot video where Melly is seen dancing with Bortland and looking happy.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! But no, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Melly doesn't look like he cares one bit about the passing of his two best friends. But without Melly's knowledge, security camera footage caught him getting into the Jeep just 30 minutes before the crime was committed, which is extremely important because it's the same spot in the car that detectives claim the firearm was used from. They traced the trail of the rounds that went off in the car, and the court documents say they traveled from left to right in the car. It supports the claim that they originated from the back left seat where Melly was positioned. They also had Juvie's mother on the stand to confirm which person was who on the security camera footage. She claims it was Melly that went into the back left seat.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
I'm Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the victims in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right-hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
Melly's lawyers desperately responded to say there was never even a firearm found for the crime.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
Okay.
As they believe that's a good piece of evidence to suggest Melly's theory about a drive-by was right. However, they found more concerning evidence inside Bortland's house during the original trial.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Demons, aka Y&W Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
It was then announced, here are the images of alleged notes discovered during the home raid of Bortlen's home, as there were drawings which show where certain jurors were sitting, with another paper having descriptions of what each one looked like. It made it look like Bortlen was getting ready to contact the jurors and either tamper with them or take one out in order to protect Melly.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
But with Bortlen now on the Fed's side, Bortlen won't be able to try messing with the jurors anymore, and they'll use him to validate whatever evidence they want, as the first thing they want answers to was why did Fredo Bang pick up Melly suddenly on the way home?
And Chris Thomas are. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Devins is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location, to one of his friends, Frederick Givens. Frederick Givens is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Givens, then about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin, where Mr. Demons has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone calls.
Although in a weird twist in Melly's case, they're trying to add an aggravating factor to his charges by claiming he did it in furtherance of a street team. They used this photo of Melly with Young Thug to claim that Melly was trying to enter the Red Street team and did the crime in order to prove himself.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, he's hanging with him. And he puts up his Y&W for life hashtag on it with Mr. Demons has the big B hand signs displayed.
Okay, and see with individuals again, I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.
Melly didn't care that this was going to be entered as evidence, so he told them to allow it. But his lawyers obviously disagreed because it makes his possible sentence even worse. This had the news writing. This hearing marks the first time Melly publicly went against his legal team's advisement in open court, as Melly was yelling at his lawyers.
Yes, sir. Against our advice, our client must proceed.
People in the court heard that Melly was defending his point to his lawyers by saying, I don't care, I'm not in no team, they can't prove that.
I'm aware, 924-071. Call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership in a gang. There are things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, that's the death penalty. Aggravator, that's the gang enhancement itself, Your Honor. That was charged. He was charged in committing the murder for the furtherance of the gang, which is an aggravator in terms of the guilt.
Something that they would have to find by way of an interrogatory.
Yes.
However, the feds will add another witness to the case. A former O-Block member claimed that Melly asked King Von for advice on how to deal with people, as King Von would have been the best person to ask considering the history he had of taking people out.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was 2 friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his 2 friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
Meanwhile, Lil Durk has been doing anything to get out of jail due to how serious of a crime he committed.
I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son, for the least for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice.
We want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk is...
The Durk court hearing today revealed his attempt to get out of jail early, and it's working. It was originally announced last week. On Tuesday, January 6th, the Chicago rapper's legal team filed a request for a status hearing regarding Durk being detained in a special housing unit without due process since August 29, 2025. Durk is confined to a very small jail cell, just large enough for a single bed, a toilet, and a sink for 23 hours a day. The filing reads, he does not have access to commissary. He is permitted one phone call a month and no in-person social visits. He was originally placed in a SHU as punishment for being in possession of an Apple Watch. However, Durk's attorneys claim that the alleged infraction has still not been reviewed by the unit discipline committee to determine proper disciplinary action, which would normally happen within 5 working days. Even inmates from Durk's cell block called those close to Durk's case about it.
They got little Durk in a hole for basically some BS. And right now we're going to show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with a cell phone, and basically that's not true. They trying to keep him in a hole, do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they trying to make a point because they saying that me and him is privileged and we got so many things going on, and it's a lot of BS.
However, at Durk's court hearing today, it was announced Durk is no longer being held in solitary confinement after 5 months. On Thursday, January 15th, XXL confirmed that the Chicago rapper is back in general population at the Los Angeles Detention Center after being in a special housing unit since August. This resulted in Durk's team writing on his IG story for him. Crazy how you gotta wait until it's dark out to see who really with you, as Durk feels alone. Even DJ Academics explained how all rappers left his side.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the went on tour with, did songs with, called you they brother, they twin. I wouldn't be surprised if these rappers try to India. These are down low and dirty. And I think this is what, I think Durk right now is thinking that, man, I thought I was just with a whole bunch of real. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. And I feel bad for Durk. When King Slime got locked up, there was a whole parade. Free him! Free him! Free him! Oh, nah. Everybody would post details of the case. How is this humane? How could they do this? Yo, free not smart. No, free Slime. Durk got locked up. They might give that half a bar. Free Smirk. And they moved the on. I'll give credit. I have heard some of these guys have sent lawyers. Good for that. But Smirk is in there, man, realizing the world don't stop spinning because you locked up.
Due to everyone leaving his side, Academics explained further on why Durk won't be the same rapper if he gets out of jail.
Let me tell y'all, the Durk y'all loved when he was free, if he gets back out again, he'll never be that Durk. I'm gonna tell you why. He done learned a lot of lessons. This is me assuming, nothing he's told me. But the things that he did for others, y'all know when he came on my podcast, right? And he said, man, yo, Gunna's a snitch, I can't f Gunna. Man, f that. I don't care, I love Thug. He said that because Thug told him. Yo, what Durk is realizing, Durk is a great soldier, but nobody looked at him like a leader. Durk was willing to move on behalf of the people he's loyal to when they get locked up. When he locked up, they might drop him as a bar in a song, but
Durk will never go back to jail for one specific reason, which is his jail situation. Because with him being locked in the special unit for over 4 months, he might be able to get house arrest. But to understand when his release date is, it's important to know what just happened to him inside court. Because Durk's court hearings have started, and he wanted to go straight to the trial. The news wrote, Durk's co-defendants, Diddy, Boogie, and Brown Eyes, agreed with the government to push the trial back 5 months to May 4th. But Durk didn't agree, and wants the trial to begin as scheduled on January 7th. The prosecutors were quick to respond to this with with a message saying, Dirk's trial prosecutors say they have several cooperating witnesses who will testify that he was the real organizer of the passings, as the prosecutors are basically saying they don't care when the trial starts because they have the snitches and witnesses to prove Dirk was involved. Following this, the judge came back with his decision to delay the trial, with it announced Dirk's trial has been pushed back to the spring. The trial date for Dirk and his co-defendants is now scheduled for May 4th, with a pre-trial conference slated to happen on April 13th. But other changes are happening to Dirk on the inside, because in the court hearing, people reported that he looked much thinner and he cut his dreads. But this same hearing had the judge announcing he denied motions to dismiss the case for vagueness. A motion for a bill of particulars was taken under advisement, and the motion to dismiss count 4 was taken under advisement. But a lawyer from the courtroom spoke on what this really means for Dirk.
I'm a criminal lawyer, and I just learned that the rap artist Lil Durk just had his motion to dismiss his for hire case denied. To be honest, I'm not that surprised. Let me tell you guys something. There's only 2 ways that Lil Durk is rocking out of that federal courtroom on 2 feet. A jury of 12 people says that he is not guilty, or President Trump pardons him. There's no other way that Durk is walking out of that court free. That judge is not going to be dismissing any key evidence. He's not going to be dismissing any motions. He's not going to do anything that significantly helps Lil Durk walk out of that courtroom without having a trial. Now, how and why am I so sure of this? Well, here's the first thing I want to tell you. Most federal judges used to be federal prosecutors, exact prosecutors that are prosecuting Dirk. A lot of judges used to stand in that very position. Federal prosecutors can be very biased people, and very rarely, once they put on that black robe and become a judge, do they get rid of those biases, okay? That judge very likely probably thinks that Dirk is guilty. He just can't be the one to actually say it.
They're claiming there's no way that Dirk gets the charges dropped before having to prove himself innocent in a trial, which had people in the media reacting to what's happening with Dirk.
Remo, this is my last no jumper. Dirk Torre told me I wasn't supposed to come back up here with that last.
Now look what happened to him.
That man got kids. You talking about look what happened to him.
Definitely not happy about him.
I wouldn't be happy if you go to jail, Adam, because I know you got daughter. Break down.
There's multiple people who are no longer there for their kids as a result of that Dirk allegedly called in.
Until they put that on black and white, sir. Stop throwing stuff on a black man who's trying to do something right for the community right now.
The feds have already put out a lot of information about this.
You don't have to put it out. You don't have to put it out. So this is a major platform.
You're not the boss of me. We talk about rap on here. I think it is well within our jurisdiction to talk about the fact
that what type of police
has been alleged to have ordered them.
Free smirk though.
Free smirk. But also maybe
police platform. There's some police.
Just sit down for a little and decide, hey, maybe I'm not anybody else.
We don't have no proof that.
Well,
we don't.
But it's very interesting to see that Dirk's lawyers have tried relentlessly to get him a bond so he doesn't have to wait out the trial in jail. It was reported words from Dirk's father have Dirk being released on bond. With this being his 3rd attempt, his lawyers made an offer so great the judge can't refuse it.
I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son at least for the 3rd time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor. He wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's gonna give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
However, one of the snitches in the case is giving the feds more information, as they're now claiming that Dirk is alleged to have put hits on other O-Block members who refused to retaliate for King Von's passing. The prosecutors plan to introduce testimony from a witness who claims Dirk gave the orders, as the evidence files from court claim that Dirk feuded with a member known as Munna Duke, with his belief that people weren't properly retaliating for King Von's passing. But this got DJ Academics and Wack 100 to speak about what's happening with the snitches.
Life by basically saying he's guilty of for hire, and the only thing that, like, yes, some of these things look suspect. Why'd you go there? Why are these people going there? Why'd you send this message? But nothing. There's no message that they got that says where Dirk says y'all that Quando yet. Nothing says that.
I'm not. You missing the point. Okay. They got a witness already cooperating on that. Been had one. We just ain't seen what they said. It's 3 years. One of the is cooperating.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So
fact.
I don't,
That's cool.
yeah,
That's
I don't know
co-conspirator
what
too.
yeah, I don't know. You don't need too much more than that. One of is cooperating. Then in the paperwork, you got the conversation. They say they had it in and out. The other two was figuring out how they getting paid.
But it was confirmed inside court that the witness has been playing the feds the whole time, as a report revealed that Dirk could be found not guilty after documents revealed a witness switched their story. Initially, they claimed that there wasn't a bounty that Dirk placed, but is now saying there was. People thought it was OTF Diddy at first, but he's not snitching against Dirk. Currently, Diddy is doing everything he can to separate himself from the case.
And that's what Diddy did. He's basically saying all this evidence y'all got against Dirk got nothing to do with me. Why you got me charged with Dirk? And that doesn't mean he's going against Dirk. That just means he wants his case severed. And I'm telling you, if it's severed, it helps Dirk. Because one of the main connective tissue to this conspiracy is saying that Dirk told Diddy to hire. Diddy's saying, I ain't get told to hire nobody. And I ain't hiring nobody. What are you talking about? Why would I hire someone? That's his thing.
But on top of the charges they have against Dirk for the hit that took out Lil Pab, they're claiming that Dirk is also responsible for another attempt on Quando at a gas station in Georgia, as they claim they have surveillance video and witness testimony to suggest Dirk was behind the attempt. They even reference a line from one of Dirk's songs in the court files, which reads, "They're on my page like slide for Vaughn. I know they're trolling me." Later in a podcast, he said, "For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more." They're trying to explain that the release of the Dirk song was before the hit on Lil Pab, and the podcast was released after he was taken out, which makes sense because people told Dirk to slide for Vaughn, and once he did, he acknowledged that no one was telling him to slide anymore. But what's crazy is they originally tried using these lyrics against Dirk, which wrote, "Told me they got an addy, they got the location, go. Look on the news, see your son screaming no," which is exactly the way that Quando reacted to the hit.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
But Dirk's lawyer did a public interview about the case and said the charges are a joke.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Dirk Banks. And this is the really important part, Ack. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Dirk that celebrated and monetized this.
However, the feds are now getting a lot more information from a new snitch because it was announced that OTF Vonnie is now snitching. His file in the case was updated to show he was no longer in the prison's custody, meaning he likely was fully released or on house arrest. What's crazy is that Vonnie was texting a close friend about his plea deal options, but his friend leaked it to expose that Vonnie was telling. As Vonnie texted, "I'm trying to plea out to a 32, which is the base for M for hire. The max is 43, which is life. I'd get -2 points for a plea, -1 point for an early plea, and -2 points for no background. I'll have 27 points, which is 5 to 7 years. I can't go to trial. I don't want them to do me like the other guys." As he was likely referring to what happened to OTF Jam because he snitched and has been missing ever since, but more on that later. Because in a weird twist to the case, Vonnie's dad heard that his son was snitching, so he exposed his son for even more crime. He claims that Vonnie was responsible in some way for King Von's passing and that Dirk knew about it.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Dirk asked Vonnie, "Is it open?" Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Dirk asked Vonnie, "Was it open?" This is what he asked him. Was it open? It was the exact words, "Was it open?" He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? I got bankers. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Dirk before, who told on Von before he.
The streets are saying Dirk might have backdoored King Von, and the main motivation for it was their ongoing court case they had together. In case you didn't know, they were facing charges for robbing a man and using a firearm on him multiple times. Suddenly, a couple months after King Von was taken out, the charges against Dirk were dropped in a private settlement.
Why would Dirk want Von?
Man, let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table when I pass you up? Don't nobody want their chief spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
Dude was
thing.
a slack. He was signing the boys. He was Von wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Von didn't have any contractual ties to Dirk like that, which was interesting.
I mean, come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney? He got a public defender."
But fans began drawing patterns from the timing of when Dirk goes on Instagram Live. With Vonnie's dad leaking that Dirk had Von dealt with, it makes me wonder why Dirk suddenly goes on Instagram Live when he's connected to someone passing. He went on live the minute when King Von, Lil Pab, and FBG Duck passed away, which makes fans believe Dirk uses Instagram as a live-action alibi. But Vonnie's dad wasn't done yet and spoke further about Vonnie orchestrating King Von and Lil Pab's passing.
Oh, no, he ain't take my advice. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonnie snitching with the text messages? Like, that's...
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
But that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that, and and with me saying Von, some people like, damn, what he gonna tell on some words on Von?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Von name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Von. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil Baby. You orchestrated this, and guess who you work for?
But there's another snitch in the case, which is OTF Diddy's younger brother, Ted. Rappers recognized this as very bad for Dirk, and they tweeted, "Please tell me this isn't real." But unfortunately, it is. New Reports wrote, "The new Ted body cam footage of him begging to snitch against Dirk and members has changed this case. Dirk's lawyers submitted paperwork for an extended time on their bond proposal. The main reason Ted is such a concern is because he's brothers with Diddy, and Diddy is allegedly Dirk's main hitter, meaning that Diddy probably knows all of the secrets of OTF, and it's possible Ted knows them too. The worst part is that Ted shouldn't even have been involved in the case, but he got arrested for having a firearm at a store."
Really? Dude had it. What about that? A man had it with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
Almost instantly, when he was transported to the police station, he said that he would tell on everybody he knows that did crime.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
But he was thrown into the waiting cell when an officer finally spoke to him.
Wait, hold on. You gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? 7 what you saying, man?
We're gonna see what we can do for you, all right?
We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus to prison. Relax.
Give me No, I'm saying, what you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
But with Diddy being his older brother, no one knows the crimes that Ted could have been told about over the years. But do you still believe Dirk can be found innocent? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.